Hello everybody, welcome back to another review with Mastercraft here, guys. I know I don't do too many of these, but I'm like, you know what, this is an awesome controller. I've had it for exactly a month now, so I thought it was only fair to do a review on it, considering I've been saying I was going to. And please guys, before the video starts, drop a like and subscribe so Copa does not delete me. Alright, anyways, on to the review. But one other thing I would like to say, guys, before we do start is I am currently trying to get a sponsorship with Scuff. I did email them. So hopefully if you guys want more controller reviews, I've been dying to get my hands on a Scuff, but unfortunately, Scuffs are a lot of money, so I can't get my hands on one recently, especially considering I just got this. But yeah, if I do somehow get a sponsorship with Scuff, or get any Scuffs in the future, you guys can expect more controller reviews like this. Anyways, onto the controller, since this is what you guys are here for. We're going to be doing quality, durability, and customization features, and I'll just do a little overview of the controller and how it is in gameplay. Now, going over quality, guys, you can currently see, or I don't know if you can actually, but the shiny part is the faceplate. It does come with tools inside under the actual foam part. I know it's really dusty in my room, guys. But you can see it has some customization features, including a little tool so you can unscrew, all the little, not really bolts right here, but they're plastic, so it's pretty easy to come off. And then we just got different thumbsticks, longer ones, convex and concave. Concave is going in, convex is going out. I currently really enjoy the concave, but you can equip any ones you want, so that's good. Another cool thing I really do like about this controller, guys, is what everybody pretty much gets it for. We got buttons or paddles in the back, whatever you guys want to call them. These are more buttons than paddles, in my opinion. I don't know if you guys can hear it because I'm wearing a mic, but these are very clicky, very responsive, very great. I love them. They always work good. You can see nice little rubber finishes also on the sides of this controller. That way, if your hands sweat, you don't drop the controller or anything like that. And then going right above the paddles, guys, we have trigger stops right here. You can see I have them all the way on, which means it's almost like a mouse click. So you guys don't have to pull the trigger all the way down in order to actually shoot or whatever you're doing, like a first-person shooter game. You can turn one off or one down or both. And so it's like in traditional PS4 or Xbox controller. Going over to the front of the controller, you guys can see we have wireless and wired mode, which basically means if we obviously switch to wireless, it comes with a little dongle. Here, actually, let me grab that real quick. Here's the dongle right here, guys. You can see a lot of people actually don't like dongles, which I find hard to believe because if you guys didn't know, dongles actually make the controller more responsive than it does Bluetooth-wise. So I actually do prefer the dongle. That way it's pretty much just as fast wired and wireless. So that makes a big plus for me. Now if we focus back on the front of the controller again, you guys can see, hold up, my mic's getting in the way of the cord. But anyways, we have 1 and 2. I did not know what these meant at first until I watched a couple other videos. That is basically so you can, the big feature about these controllers is you can bind any button to anything. So like instead of having to press X, you can just make it so that X is the bottom button. So instead of pressing X, you can just press the bottom button and it'll be better. But now if you switch it to the other mode, mode 2, it's set a default, so you guys can have two different, how do I say this, platforms of playing a game that you guys want. Anyways, guys, moving on to the front of the controller, you can see it does have a really nice finish, rubber finish, and I've heard a lot of stuff like the Xbox Elite controller and other controllers like that, the grip's coming off. This grip is pretty great, actually. It has never come off. It's still just like brand new as I got it, so I did really love that about Astro. They also do have a pretty good D-pad. I think it looks very, very slick. I love it. It's very responsive, so it's not just responsive from the top, but you guys can also press, you see the little ridge right here, that's where you press, and you can press it very fast. It's very responsive. I love it. If you guys want to do the thing where you type and you move the keyboard around using the touchpad, it still works, even on the third-party controller, which is phenomenal, actually. With me on the right, guys, I have the standard DualShock 4, which I'm sure pretty much everybody on PlayStation also has that plays, because that's kind of what you get with it. But you can see, obviously, I don't know if you can, but the Astro controller is a lot bigger, a lot wider, and just a lot heavier. Now, this can be viewed different on compared to who you are, guys, because if you have bigger hands like me, you prefer the bigger controller, which I actually like. It did take me a bit to get used to, but after using it, it's hard to go back to a traditional DualShock 4 controller. So keep that in mind when you're getting this, guys. You have to have pretty big hands, but yeah. Even when you first receive this thing, though, like, you know it's elite. It just feels elite. Like it just, I don't know. It's all like, it's perfect. It fits perfectly in your hands, and it's just good. I like it. It's a lot better grip than the DualShock 4. My hands would get super sweaty when I'm playing, like, a competitive game like Fortnite or something like that, and then like my hands slip off and I drop the controller and then I die. But with this, it never happens. It's just great. On to the customization features of this controller. I know I kind of gave it away already, but these joysticks, you can actually move them wherever you want on the controller. So basically, instead of having a traditional PS4 setup with the two joysticks at the bottom, I can move this where the D-pad is and then the D-pad back to here. So it'd be set up like a traditional Xbox controller. Or I can move both joysticks on this side and have the D-pad here, which I don't know why anybody would want to. But as you guys can also see, I did put on a longer thumbstick for the right side, so it makes it a lot better for first-person shooter. That way you guys can you have a whole lot more flexibility on turning and a lot better aim, so that just helps me a lot. Once again, though, guys, you can personalize it to your liking. Anyways, guys, on to my cons of this controller, which it's hard because I love this controller. But one of the things I don't like about this controller is when you're playing on it, if you guys have a traditional DualShock, you can see in the top corner when your controller is dying, a battery will pop up with 1, 2, or 3 bars. Now, this controller doesn't have anything letting you know if the battery is charged or not, so sometimes you'll just be playing and it will die randomly. But I play wired sometimes, so that doesn't happen. But you can get up to like 10 hours of gameplay on this thing before charging it. It's awesome. But I think they definitely should have added that. But it's not super big of a con. It's not like something you wouldn't buy the controller for. So yeah, it's fun. But the big con, which a lot of people actually are questioning whether they should still get this controller, is these analog sticks do not have any tension on them, which means if you guys are going to snipe or do anything like that, it makes it a lot harder. But if you're like doing like a shotgun battle close up, this controller is amazing. But stick drift is such a problem with this controller. I literally got stick drift within like the first 3 weeks of using it. But if you guys didn't know, there's an easy solution to that. I actually did it once and I haven't had problems with it since. You just do a heavy reboot on the controller, which I will do in a video review coming up, guys, so stay tuned for that. But if you guys do want to get higher tension sticks, if you go to Battle Beaver, you guys can actually get higher tension thumbsticks to put into the Astro c40, because these are removable, so that is huge advantage. So instead of having to buy a new controller every time you get stick drift, like you would on the PS4 Xbox controller, or even the Xbox One Elite controller, you can just take the module out, guys, and literally get a new one for $20, and there you go. It's basically a new controller. So that is a huge advantage. Now, the only other con I have is when I'm playing another game, like, casual game, like if I ever play Minecraft or something, I have to turn the trigger stops all the way down, because for some reason, the trigger won't go all the way in when I'm playing those games, especially since Minecraft just did its Bedrock update. I have to switch to no trigger stoppers, so that's a bit of an issue. But once again, it's not anything like game breaking or anything not to buy it, so that's just a little thing I don't like. So yeah, overall, I can't say anything super bad about this controller, because in reality, it is a great controller. I am not being sponsored or anything by Astro, guys. I just love this controller. It's amazing. Once again, hopefully I can get my hands on the Scuff controller, guys. I really do want one, especially so I can do a scuff controller versus the Astro c40. I think that would be a pretty epic video that a lot of people would like to see. So stay tuned for that, guys, in case I do get one. Thank you guys so much for watching this. I hope you all learned something new about this controller in case you even want to buy one for yourself. And I hope to see you guys all on future videos. My BattleBots videos have been doing great, averaging over a couple thousand views per each one of them. So I'm like, you know what? You guys seem to be enjoying that, so I'll make some more. So be expecting a couple of them coming out and possibly some more controller reviews. Alright, anyways, guys, peace out, everybody.